DHS alumni Mikey Partida was severely beaten in front of his cousin's house in Davis on March 10th. He was kicked and punched until unconscious, sustaining injuries like a swollen shut right eye and a severe concussion. Davis police are categorizing the assault as a hate crime because Partida was openly homosexual, and the police report states homophobic slurs were used during the attack. DHS students react to the news of the crime. Students were first asked what the definition of a hate crime is.
Doing something really racist against someone, like posting some racial slurs, or saying bad stuff about other people because of their race or religion or even sexuality.
Well, I think it's when someone's targeted based on the fact that they're like a minority group, such as like sexual orientation or race or ethnicity, or yeah.
A hate crime is an act of physical or emotional violence directed against any group of people based on their race, color, creed, sexual orientation, national origin.
I think a hate crime is when you are purposely mean to a group of people for something that they're not responsible for, like their identity.
Then, students reacted to the news and gave their opinions.
I'm really kind of disgusted that something like that would happen, because Davis is supposed to be a really progressive and open-minded place, and so it's kind of really disturbing that someone would be attacked because of their sexual orientation.
I mean, my reaction to that is that there is clearly just bigotry in society, and that they do not hesitate to use violence against oppressed peoples, against marginalized peoples. And I think that this needs to come to an end. This needs to be put to an end. And I think that the establishment has shown that it is often not only not doing things to stop it, but perpetuating the cycle of violence. So I think it's up to the people who are being oppressed. I think it's up to the minorities and people of color and the LGBTQ community to, fight back.
I thought that it was a really bad thing to happen, and that things like this should be prevented in the future by assisting the youth with information about how things like this could be prevented, and also probably it'll be a good idea to make neighborhood surveillance a bit stronger, so we could prevent crimes like this from happening.
Lastly, students reflect on what the crime means for Davis as a community.
Well, I saw the school play about hate crimes, and it talked about how they were because of the hate crimes in the past in Davis, they've changed and made people more aware. So I feel like people will be more aware about hate crimes like this.
I think it's revealed Davis, the real Davis, underneath the illusion of Davis, the undercurrents of hatred and violence that manage to occasionally erupt through the carefully constructed illusion of a bike-friendly, very liberal town. I think that in the end this is just another incident that will be ignored by the mainstream. I don't think anything will really change. I think people will, pin it on the culprit and say, well, that was a rotten apple, and then get on with their lives, ignoring the fact that it is the broader cultural assumptions and paradigms that are really at fault for the violence and the hate crimes. And I think that until the dark and rotten heart of the American dream is confronted, the cycle of violence will continue.
I think it's affected Davis in a pretty strong way, because Davis is a small town, and everyone seems to know each other. So the fact that we know who assaulted who, the rumors are going to spread pretty fast, and everyone's pretty much everyone in Davis is going to know who did it.
This has been Ben Beck for BlueDevilHub.com, co-produced by Emily Gao.